Total crane numbers are up, but there are almost 40 less residential cranes across the country. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, because I thought it's time to have a look at the RLB, the Ryder Levitt Bucknell Crane Index, everyone. It's been a while since we've had a look at this one, and I quite like this index because it gives us some insight just into, well, compares the larger scale part of the construction sector. Now, we've had a look at home builder today, how they've extended it, how many people are taking advantage of this. But an interesting thing that's coming out of this data is that, well, the number of cranes have gone up, but, well, it's not, let's just say, not all crane projects are equal. So let's have a look at the latest crane index data. Now we have 30 cranes in Perth, 10 in Adelaide, none in Darwin, none in Hobart, 193 in Melbourne, 26 in Canberra, it looks like, 12 in Wollongong, 286, like my first computer, 286 in Sydney. Central Coast and Newcastle have 9. Gold Coast has 29 cranes. Wow, 29 cranes. Brisbane, we've got 71 cranes. 71? And the Sunshine Coast has 16. When you look at those numbers, I just got to think, last time I'm driving around, because you see them. And they count the cranes. So here's the Australian net crane movement by city. So we can see here Brisbane, Adelaide is, nothing's changed. Brisbane has increased significantly. Canberra's down. Central Coast is up. Gold Coast is down. Melbourne is up. Newcastle is down. Perth is down. Sunshine Coast is slightly up. Sydney's, well, down significantly. And Wollongong is up. And here's by sector. Now, the civic projects are up. Civil projects are up. Not surprising. Commercial is down. Education is up. Government. Health is down. Hotels are down. I can't see that recovering very quickly. The tourism sector, particularly with talk of delayed border openings. Mixed use is up significantly. So lots of mixed use. Recreation is down. Residential, look at that. Look at the residential plunge, and the retail is slightly down. So let's have a look at just the building approvals and the performance of construction index. Now that we've got an overview of the crane index, we can see here, as I've said many times before, home builder has worked in juicing up the housing market. Residential houses, dwellings, private sector houses are up. I mean, there you go. It's pretty obvious. It's had the effect they've wanted. Everyone's taken the money they've wanted to get those houses. They've either pulled projects forward or they've started new projects. But the private sector dwellings, excluding houses, and this is just the private sector, this doesn't include the commercial sector, but you can see here it's kind of the apartments. It's been trending down for a while since we had this peak back here. Okay, so it's not really been affected. Here is the performance of a construction index, and we can see as well it has, well, climbed significantly. It's shooting right up. But then again, a lot of that is in detached housing. What's interesting is we'll go through detail now of the RLB crane index just to look at the breakdown, because I found it quite interesting that there's, this increase in total cranes. And hang on, I've just shut down my presentation. I'll bring it right back up again. The increase in total cranes, but the decrease in residential. I was talking to Mike and Nike the other day about the different sectors. Depending on what sector you're in, is how you're going to experience the economic recovery, everyone, or the government intervention. So some people may be flat out; they'll be really busy. But if you're in a sector, say you're dependent on development-driven apartment work, you might be feeling it a little bit more than others. So all things aren't equal, and you can't really pivot that easily. You may have to. But you can't pivot that easily from construction to other sectors. So this is quarter 1 2021. The index highlights an additional 16 cranes seen across Australia, bringing the total number to 691, up from 675 in quarter 3 2020. The index rose to 162 from 158. Brisbane and Melbourne bounced back this edition with strong growth in crane numbers. So Brisbane and Melbourne, we're leading the way. Good work, guys. The National Residential Index fell for the 4th consecutive edition. So 4 quarters, so a year, residential cranes have been going down. What does that tell you, everyone? Just wait till we start seeing calls for crane builder. You know, we need more apartment projects. Or there'll be calls. There'll be predictions. I can just see the articles now. People will be writing, there'll be a shortage of apartments due to lack of construction in that sector, so the prices are gonna boom. Just wait, just to get the FOMO going, even though we've got an oversupply of apartments in cities, particularly in South Brisbane. Have a look there. Just drive around there and have a look. Sydney residential cranes fell below 200 for the first time since 2016. The National Non-Residential Index recorded its highest level since the commencement of the index. So, there you go. I mean, when they index it, I imagine, usually they set that at the 100 level so you can detect going below or above. So it's the highest level it's ever been. What does that tell you? Strong growth in the national education, mixed-use, civil and civic sectors, with record numbers of cranes in each sector. Queen's Wharf in Brisbane remains the project with the most cranes in Australia at 9. 9 cranes there. I'm not surprised. I haven't driven past there in a while. I have to have a look. Now, I really like this. Hang on, I'll zoom out so you can see it all. I really like this because we can see they have maps of where all the cranes are in each city. So, here's Australia. The past 6 months has seen the country slowly accelerate towards a post-COVID new normal. I just call it normal, okay? Just call it normal. Not new normal, normal. Okay, come on. This rhetoric is just frustrating. The federal government stimulus measures have assisted the economy, but the impact on construction is seeing the industry operate at 2 speeds. There you go. There's the K-shape economic recovery that I would argue is evident in our entire economy. If anything, it's exacerbated. It's even evident in the construction sector here. Residential detached housing, assisted by both federal and state incentives, does not appear to have suffered from any COVID hangovers at this stage. Government-sponsored civil projects continue to expand across the nation, while education and civic projects also have grown sharply this edition. Multi-story residential developments have recorded their 4th consecutive fall in the index, mirroring the decline in building approvals and work done during 2020. The industry hit hardest by the lockdown during 2020, namely tourism, retail and commercial, all recorded falls in the number of cranes across the country. Now here's the thing you have to appreciate with, they're talking about building approvals, and we looked at them here. Dwelling approvals. Now, there's kind of a lag effect with them. Houses, residential houses, you can get a project off the ground pretty quick, but the market's overheated. So that's why they've extended the time frame out to 18 months. That's different to a commercial project or residential tower or a retail project. The lag in the approval to actually building it will be longer. So you've got time to do it, but it's something you've got to be aware of, everyone. That while they're talking it all up, it may take a bit longer to filter through. Construction work done for 2020 was down 4.2% across Australia, representing $5 billion. Total residential work done was down by 7.2 or 5.4 billion, which was caused by a fall in apartment activity, down by 15% or 4.5 billion, and houses, which were down by 1.5 billion or 3.9% for the same period. Crane numbers across all sectors rose by 16 or 2.4%, recording a total of 691, down from 675. How do you go down from that? Or up from 675 in quarter 3 2020. The RLB crane index, which peaked in quarter 3 2019 at 178, is currently 162. The non-residential index recorded a sharp rise from 199 in quarter 3 2020 to 247, a 24% increase, representing a lift of 55 cranes. There you go, guys. The mixed-use sector saw the biggest rise with an additional 26 cranes. The education and civil sectors increased by 19 and 16 respectively. Residential cranes fell by 39. Since our last edition, 371 cranes were added to our skylines and 355 were removed. Brisbane recorded its biggest increase in crane numbers since quarter 4 2015. Melbourne, which endured the longest and strictest lockdowns amongst the capitals, bounced back this edition with 16 additional cranes observed. I mean, this is a job, guys. They'll get, because RLB, they're QS, they're quantity surveyors. If you're not familiar, if you're a young guy looking for a potential career, and you like maths, and you want to get exposure to construction, consider QS. A lot of people don't know that that job really exists, you know. And I had a colleague I know who was a quantity surveyor, and he got a contract position with one of the big energy companies, and he was raking in the money. He loved it. And then he tried to work in the outside of those big corporates, charge the same fees. He couldn't quite get it. Couldn't quite manage it. So let's have a look here. We can see this is the crane index. So as I was saying, in 2015 they've indexed it at 100. So we've never been below those levels, it looks like. So it's just been up, 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 up. And then we had a dip down to 158, and here we're at 162. And here's the Australian residential index, and we're now at 132. We're nearly back. We're heading down, it looks like, towards 2015 levels. Here's the non-residential sector. Look at that. So we're more than double the number that they had in 2015. In 2017, they actually went below the 2015 level, and it's going right back up. Here's Adelaide. So we'll just look at the map here. Here's the residential cranes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Some commercial, 2, 2, and a education. So that shows you the cranes they have. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe they're not showing them all on the map. But here's the crane index. It's at 167, up from 100. So it peaked. Whoa, it peaked a few years ago, and it's come back down and just staying flat. So civil is down, commercial is up, hotel is down, mixed use is down, and residential is up in Adelaide. So here's the Brisbane crane index. There you go, look at that. We're up. We're still not at 2015 levels, though, everyone. And here, I mean, there you go. There's the map of Brisbane, where we've got cranes all over the place. So civic up, civil up, commercial down, education up, health down, hotels down, mixed use up, and residential up. Overall status is up. Have a look here, and there we go, Brisbane. Inner Brisbane continues to have the most cranes located across the city area with 55%. However, this has dropped from the last count when the inner city held 77%. So there you go. Most of the cranes are going there. And what I need to ring up some of the people I know there, how they actually develop this. If they send someone around to count the cranes, or you count it from the office buildings. I mean, there you go. You can see where they all are around Brizzy, guys. So, okay. So now you know when you're driving around, you can see the cranes. Canberra is flat with the cranes, pretty much. They're at 520 from the 2015 index. They've got how many cranes? Closing 21. They've got 26. Civic up, education down, health up, and residential down. And there we have it, where they are in Canberra. Central Coast. Central Coast, they went from 5 up to 9, and residential are up. That's all they have. They're still at, well, they only started counting in 2018. They're down from there. I bet you this is where the RLB have their offices. This would have to be the first year, you know, the apprentice's job, wouldn't it? Going out counting cranes. Well, I reckon some of the old guys would love it. Darwin. So, not applicable, nothing. No cranes in Darwin. They were at 100 in 2015. You can see they've just been down since then. 0% movement. Wow. For the second consecutive edition, there are no cranes in Darwin. There is still some optimism with calendar year 2020 building approvals up 81% from 2019. These approvals should flow into new projects, assisting the recovery of building activity from a relatively low 2019 base. The increase of 340% in normal apartment approvals and 50% rise in total residential approvals provides some positive signs for the period ahead. So hopefully, for those of you living in the Northern Territory, there may be some projects coming online, but you can still see here, you get those approvals, you can sit on them for some time, everyone. Here's the Gold Coast. Overall status is down, commercial flat, mixed use down, residential flat. They're at 193, they're still above 2015 levels. And we can see, I mean, they're going all along the coast here. They were at 34, they're now down to 29 cranes. Hobart is flat again, no cranes. Hobart remains the same, having no cranes for the second consecutive count. So nothing exciting. There's no real hope there for Hobart, guys. You know, that'd be the RLB boys going out there. Well, no, you notice it on your coffee run. If you're in Hobart, you're doing you'd be onto it as a crane straight away. You'd be going, fantastic, we can update. Or they'd be talking to the crane suppliers. So in Melbourne, they're at 166%. Overall status is up. Civic is flat. Civil is up. commercial is flat, education up, health up, hotels are down, mixed use are up, and residential are down. So an increasing number of cranes in there. We can see them just doddering all over Melbourne. And their numbers are from 102 to 95. Why? Oh, that's inner Melbourne. Inner Melbourne. Total Melbourne is 177 to 193. Everyone. And I'll link to this if you want to go through the whole thing on your own. So Newcastle, overall status are down, commercial up, education up, health down, and residential down. They're at 113, not that much higher from 2015. So they're from 13 down to 9. They've lost their cranes. So there we go, that's where they all are. Perth is down, commercial down, education down, health up, residential flat, and retail are down. So they're at 70. They haven't reached the same level as 2015. They're from 36 down to 30 with the cranes that we can see here. And the Sunny Coast still running hot at 160. Civic are up. Health are up. Health are down. Hotel is up. Mixed use are down. And residential are up. Overall status is up. They're from 15 to 16 cranes. So they got one extra one. One extra one. We can see here where all the activity is happening. Sydney, overall down. Overall down. They're at 177 from 100 in the index in 2015. Civic up, civil up, commercial down, education up, health down, hotels up, mixed use up, recreation down, residential down, and retail down. They're at 286 from 297. I mean, look at that, guys. Look at Sydney. It's just going crazy. It's just going crazy. And is that the last city? No, Wollongong. Okay, Wollongong, 67 from 100. They're up. Commercial down. Commercial flat. Mixed use up. And residential are down. They've gone from 11 to 12. One extra crane in the city. So there we have it, everyone. This is the latest from the RLB crane index. So we're up. We're up, guys, overall. But, let's discuss some solutions, or really some observations. Home builder for apartments. That's the question I put out to you. Are we going to start seeing articles talk about potential opportunities to jump in, invest into apartments because, cranes are down or activity is down? Or are we going to, how long will it take for that supply to work through to the market? Or are there going to be calls to open, international students and immigration to increase the demand for that stock? What do you think? And are you at all surprised that we're seeing these different outcomes in different sectors in the construction industry? As always, guys, thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy a merch from HeiseSays. You can use Gold Path from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. You can help us with our share trading by signing up through SelfWealth or joining Stake if you want to get some American shares. You can also support us using Gold Pass or good old PayPal. Take care, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.